What's good, sports fans? Let's talk about the most overrated athletes of all time in the NFL, NBA, and boxing. And let's start with the most overrated football player of all time, Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman is a former number one overall pick who was the quarterback for three Super Bowl winning teams for the Dallas Cowboys and is now in the Hall of Fame. So you may be asking yourself, how can someone with that resume be overrated? So let's break it down. He only had one season where he threw more than 20 touchdown passes, which was 1992. He had 4 seasons in his 12 seasons as a starter where he threw more interceptions than touchdowns. 1989. Now you may say, okay, he was a rookie. 1990 in the second year. In the middle of his prime in 1996 and as a veteran in 2000. He also had 6 Pro Bowl selections, but 3 of those were very sketchy. 1991 had 11 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Pro Bowler? How, Sway? 1994, 13 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Pro Bowler? How, Sway? 1996, 12 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, but made the Pro Bowl. How, Sway? Troy Aikman was a talented quarterback, but benefited so much from having an all-time leading rusher in Emmitt Smith, a top 10 wide receiver of all time in Michael Irvin, one of the best offensive lines of all time headlined by Larry Allen, and a great defense throughout his whole career. So Troy Aikman is the most overrated football player of all time. Now let's talk about basketball. The most overrated basketball player of all time is Pistol Pete Maravich. I'm originally from Louisiana, which means that I learned about the legend of Pistol Pete Maravich very early on. In 6th grade, I was supposed to be in health class learning about the human body, and our PE coach decided to put on a highlight tape of Pistol Pete Maravich and tell us about his legend at LSU. And he continued to be individually dominant in the NBA, going to 5 All-Star games, being voted to 4 All-NBA teams. So you may ask, how can someone with that resume be overrated? Let's break it down. Those individual exploits never led to team winning. In his prime, he only made the playoffs 3 times and never made it past the first round. And in those playoff series, he didn't play well, shooting 37% from the floor, 41% from the floor, and 44% from the floor respectively. He didn't make it past the first round until he was a role player for the Boston Celtics at the end of his career. And somehow still made the NBA top 50 team and top 75 teams. How, Sway? Pistol Pete Maravich is the most overrated NBA player of all time. Now let's talk about the most overrated boxer of all time, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson finished his career with a record of 50 wins, 6 losses, and 44 wins by way of knockout. Now, how can someone with that resume be overrated? Let's break it down. Now, most of those wins came against bums. And whenever Mike Tyson went against the best of the best, he got whooped on like you see in this video. Now, when Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas, the excuse was, oh, he was going through a rough time. His trainer just died. Buster Douglas's actual mom died right before the fight, but he went on to win the fight. Against Evander Holyfield, people say, oh, Mike Tyson was way past his prime, even though he's 5 years younger than Evander Holyfield. Against Lennox Lewis, oh, he was washed up by that point, even though him and Lennox are the same age. Mike Tyson's best win came against Larry Holmes, who was in his upper 30s, coming off a 1.5-year layoff and back-to-back losses. His other significant win came against Michael Spinks, who's a natural light heavyweight, way smaller than Mike Tyson, and was shaking his boots before the fight started. Mike Tyson has the most excuses made for him by fans, more than any other athlete in history. And that's why Mike Tyson is the most overrated boxer of all time. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you disagree with my picks as the most overrated athletes of all time, please let me know in the comment section below. If you have other ones that you think I missed, let me know about that as well. I would truly appreciate your feedback. Until next time, go real or go home.